Hello everyone, welcome to the American Jedi channel. Today is a bittersweet day, or night I should say. I decided to get rid of the car that I thought I was going to drive into the ground, my Polestar 2, and I'm going to go over that right now with you while I sit in the car. Let's see, turn some lights on in here. There we go. So, I love this car. Let me just state that out of the gate. I love it. But I went through this lesson a long time ago and I didn't learn it then, and now I'm learning it now. So let me just come right out of the gate and say that you should research how much the parts cost on a car that you're buying. Okay, like if you're buying a Mercedes or a Honda or whatever, talk to the service department while you're looking at your car, whether you're buying new or used. You should be buying used, not new. Cars lose depreciation, especially EVs. EVs that were, $70,000, $80,000 2 years ago are now in the 30s. So they take quite a hit. And my Polestar was no exception. I paid $47,000 for it about a year and a half ago, and now it's worth 25 to 30. So I took a big hit on it, and I'm going to feel that when I trade it in. So I would sell privately, but I really honestly, with everything that's been going on lately, I don't really want to deal with people or haggling or, people coming to test drive the car and all that stuff and tire kickers and everything else. I just don't want to deal with the hassle. So it's worth it to me just to trade it in. I might be losing a few $1,000s, and I'm not saying I'm rich, I can afford to lose it, but honestly, just the hassle. I'm a non-confrontational type of person, and I just don't want to deal with all the crazies that are going to come in, to try and test drive the car. But yeah, so the values on these have decreased quite significantly, which is good news for people getting into the market. Bad news for guys who bought on the higher end, especially bad news for the guys who bought new. Big time, big time. Do not buy a new electric vehicle. You will lose so much money. Anyways, so it kind of came to a head when I bought this car. I was quoted a price for an extended warranty because my warranty expires in August of 2025 on this car. And I recently got it back from the shop. I took it in, and, I basically thought they were going to think I was crazy, but I was hearing noises in the bottom right tire well, like when I went over bumps, just like a clicking noise that I hadn't noticed before. So I was like, oh, that's a new noise. And then, close the door. There we go. And then, my back armrest, when you pushed it down, squeaked really loud. And then I felt like the AC was loud. So I took it in, I dropped it off. They gave me a rental car, a Chevy Silverado EV. And I'm going to turn the AC on because it's a little toasty in here. Let me just put it on low speed so it's not too loud. All right, hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. It is hot in here, Florida. Whew. Still freaking 90 degrees, and it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. But anyways, so I dropped off the car, and they gave me a Chevy Silverado EV, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. I definitely would like to get, one day when I am going to get a truck, because I'm going to get a travel trailer a few years down the road, 5 or 6 years down the road. And, I'm going to need a truck. So I was looking at the GMC Sierra, but they're like almost $100,000. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait 3 or 4 years for it to come down to the 30s or 40s. And, so I bought this car, and it was at the top of my price range. And, anyways, I pick up my car, and I see that they fixed the squeaking armrest in the back. And the noise that I was hearing in the front right tire well was a shock absorber. Whatever. I didn't know if that's like the whole shock or just a part of the shock. I don't know how it works. But regardless, $2,300 is what they charged Polestar to fix it. It was all under warranty. And, you know, they kind of hit me hard when I saw the bill that I was signing for. Like, I was signing the bill for Volvo to charge Polestar this money to fix this car. And probably about 6 months in owning the car, I got a chip in the front left headlight, the driver's side headlight, and it looks almost like a rock hit it, but all the damage is on the other side of the lens. So I was wondering if it was a default or whatever. Polestar ended up sending me $400 to shut up, and I was like, okay, whatever. But in order to fix that scratch on the lens, they can't just replace that plastic piece. Oh no, they have to replace the whole headlight unit. And guess how much a headlight on a Polestar 2 costs? $3,200. So there's nothing wrong with the headlight. It doesn't, you can't even barely see the scratch. It's on there, but I was worried about water getting in there, like from like car washes, the high pressure stuff and stuff like that. No water's gotten in there, so it's totally still sealed. It's just, I see where it is and I know where it's at, and it bothers me, type of thing. But I'm not spending $3,200 for a headlight. So with this most recent, price shock, sticker shock, I should say, I started thinking about, okay, well, I have to get the extended warranty. And I was planning on this when I bought the car. I was planning on getting the extended warranty while it's still under the new car warranty through August of 25. And I was planning on spending around $3,200 is what I remember being quoted. It was in the threes, low threes. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to spend this $3,000 to get this extended warranty, because honestly, I can't afford for little parts in this car to be breaking, and everything in this car is like 5 times more than like a Honda, like parts wise and labor wise. And that's just a shot in the dark. I'm guessing that because I looked up a shock absorber for a Mach-E GT, and it was $350 for the part. I doubt labor was $2,000 for that. So I'm just saying, I think that, like something like a Ford, and I'll get into that in a second on where I'm going with this. But when I saw that, I just thought, man, I cannot afford this car. And so I called them today and I said, okay, I want a price. This is when I found out I couldn't afford the car. I called them today, the dealership, and I talked to the finance manager, and I asked, hey, I'd like to have like a 100,000 mile plan, for the car. That way, in case anything breaks after it hits 50,000, it's only on 30 right now. It won't cost me anything. She's like, okay, well, we have different plans. And she kind of goes over an overview of the plans with me, and she quotes me their top one, and it's an 8-year, 125,000 mile warranty, bumper to bumper. So it's not just like, like you get those extended warranties that come for free with cars, they still charge you for them, like all these car dealerships forcing car warranties down people's throats. And usually they only cover like the powertrain or whatever. So this is a bumper to bumper. So it's an extensive warranty, but they wanted $9,000 for this warranty. And I was like, oh no, because I'm thinking I spend $9,000 on this warranty. I reach 125,000 miles or 8 years, which should probably be first. To be honest, I don't know if I would reach the mileage first. And then I'm in the same spot I am now, where parts are still going to be ridiculous for this thing. And so I made the decision then to get rid of the car. And this just goes to show you, I had bought a BMW. I'm totally honest on the show. Make fun of me for whatever you want. But on the show, on this channel, I'm totally honest on this channel. I like to be transparent. And, I'm not ashamed of what I've done or how I've lived. So, I had a BMW a long time ago. It was a 335i hardtop convertible, 2007. and I think I bought it in 2009 or 10. I can't remember. I think it might have been 10. So it was like 3 years old. And I remember the turbos, both turbos blew like a month before the warranty expired. And so obviously I took it in, they fixed the turbos, and I said, how much would that have cost if I was out of warranty? And they're like, oh, a little over $6,000. I'm like, what? So I promptly sold the car while it was still under its new car warranty to someone else. And I told them, I said, hey, listen, both turbos just blew. They fixed it under warranty. I've, had them do a bunch of stuff to this car, little piddly-paddly stuff. But other than that, it runs great now. And so he bought it for me cash. But I didn't learn my lesson then. I didn't learn my lesson to do my due diligence when buying a car. So my advice to you, learn from my mistakes. When you're looking at a car, swing over to the service department and ask them, like, hey, if the headlight goes out, how much is that to fix? If a shock, is messed up, how much is that to fix? Ask them a couple questions, like, how much are tires, what, XYZ, this and that, and make sure that you can afford the maintenance of the car. Because, maintenance, although this technically doesn't really have any maintenance, things still break, right? I mean, yes, there's a lot less moving parts in an electric vehicle, but things still break. You got brakes, you got rotors, you've got shocks. Most of the electrical stuff's covered under the new car warranty, but that was another thing that scared me. What if something electrical goes wrong in here and I'm out of warranty? So I decided that for that $9,000 difference, I was going to give myself a $9,000 allotment between this car's trade-in value and the next car that I get. And that being that the next car that I'm getting is going to be a certified pre-owned Mustang Mach-E GT Performance. And it's the original car that I really wanted. I wanted it over at the Polestar when I bought this car. The reason why I didn't get it, it was $10,000 more than this car, and really $50,000 for me is a lot. I mean, it's a ton of money. I really went out on a limb when I bought this car. I mean, I'm not like car broke or anything like that, but it was really at the top of my price range when I purchased this car, and the Mach-E was still 10 grand more. So now that prices have dramatically decreased on all electric vehicles, the Mach-E being no exception, I'm finding some good deals on Mach-E. There's 3 within a 200-mile radius of me, 3 Mach-E GT Performances with the package that I like, with the roof, with the performance rims and the performance software, all that stuff. And they're running about 35 right now. I figure my car's worth about 30. Whether or not the dealership's going to give me 30, we'll see. But I'm giving myself a $9,000 allotment. So at a car that's $35,000, they have to give me at least 26 for my car, or drop the price of the car itself. I'm going to work them as separate transactions. I'm going to haggle on the price of the car first, and then I'm going to haggle on the price that they're paying for my car second. So I'm not going to try to do all in one, deal. I don't think that's wise, but and it's really not wise to trade in your cars either. You lose a little bit of money on that, but it just depends on. I'm just really not in the right frame of mind to deal with people trying to buy my car right now. So, yeah. So that's my thing. That's my lesson for today. Is just do your research on the car that you're buying. I see a lot of people buying used BMWs, and they're like, wow, when this car was brand new, it was $100,000, and now it's only 30. And it's like, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, because that thing is expensive to work on, and anything that breaks on it is super expensive. European cars are expensive. Swedish, German, whatever. They're just super expensive. And I mean, you can't really beat, domestic cars and Japanese cars. I'll throw them in there with them too. in terms of reliability, in terms of, being, having, dime a dozen by the parts. There's a lot of Mach-E's on the road, so there's going to be a lot more parts. The Polestar 2 is more of a boutique car. Not a lot of people, probably less than 200,000 people in the U.S. have them. I didn't look at their most recent sales figures, but there's just not a ton of them out there, and I'm sad. I love the car. I just don't love how much it costs, and I could eke out many years in this car and just pay the $9,000 warranty and all that. But honestly, I don't want to be back in the spot when I'm at 125, because like I said, I want to drive it till the wheels fall off. If that Mach-E will let me, I'm going to put 1 million miles on that bastard. Because I can't do this anymore. I can't keep buying cars. I just made a video like a month back or whatever it was, or a couple months back, about my shopping addiction. So what I did this time, and for all you big time shoppers out there, what I did this time is I consulted 5 different people, 6 including my wife. I called my brother, I talked to him, I called my best friends, and I also talked to my little sister, and I just said, hey, is my logic sound here? Is my logic to get a cheaper car? Well, cheaper, it might cost me a little bit out of pocket. And not only am I getting it certified pre-owned, which warranties a bunch of stuff. I don't know what everything, I got to look that up, what the Ford certified pre-owned does. But I got to look that up, but it warranties a bunch of stuff on the car to 100,000 miles. The battery and the electrical components are warranted to 100,000 miles by federal law anyway. So I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about, the infotainment or shocks or headlights, things of that nature, braking. So as long as that's warranted, I'll be good to go. And then, once it's past its 100,000 miles, I'm just going to keep driving it and keep fixing it. And, I may even get my elbows dirty and try doing some things myself. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's an electric car. I don't think. I have no mechanical experience or knowledge, so I don't think it's a good idea for me to work on an electric car in retrospect. I'll probably die somehow, shock myself or something. But anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know what's up, with my life, for those of you that are following me and, like to keep up to date with what I got going on. So, I'm going to go to the dealership tomorrow that has the car that I like out of the 3. There's one black one, one light blue, and one red one. So those are the 3 colors that are available within 200-mile radius of me. And I want the light blue one the most. That one's a 2022 model. It's got 19,000 miles on it. And they're all 35,000. Well, no, one's 38. I can't remember which one's 38. One's 38. I remember that. So regardless, I'm going to go look at the one that I want, and I'm going to use the 2 other ones as leverage to try and negotiate a better deal. And I'll be like, look, there's 2 other ones within driving distance from here. I can go look at those, or if you're serious and you want to make a deal today, let's get this done, And I'm going to use all my guiles and all my knowledge of all the cars that I've bought to try and haggle a good deal for me. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be driving home, tomorrow afternoon I'll be driving home my new Mach-E. Yeah, definitely. Having driven both cars, I'll do a little mini comparison as a bonus for you guys. Having driven both cars, the Polestar 2 and the Mach-E, I'll give you these pros and cons. The Polestar 2 is a lot more sporty. It's not 0 to 60 as fast as the GT Performance, GT Performance, I think, does it 3.5. This car does it in 4.5. You can get an upgrade to this car for $1,200, a software upgrade. It's a performance upgrade, and that brings you down to 4.1. So I never got that. I never really felt like I needed to shave off 0.4 seconds on my 0 to 60s, and I'm not out here doing 0 to 60s all the time, because that wears hard on your tires, and the tires on the Polestar are expensive as hell. And I'm sure the tires on the Mach-E are going to be expensive as well too, because it's a performance electric car. And there's people out there that'll tell you, hey, don't waste your money on the performance. But I like the way they look, and I like the way I like the rims on the performance the best. I do appreciate that I can do 0 to 60 in 3.5 if I have to. Yeah, but the Mach-E is a lot more comfortable, I would say. This is a lot sportier, a lot more like a sports car, and the Mach-E is more like a comfortable SUV. I would say like a sporty SUV. And the Magna ride is pretty sweet. I have experienced that. I did look at another GT Performance a few months back. The Magna ride you can definitely tell a difference with the Magna ride and the ride without it. So this car rides a lot harsher. Of course, it's more sportier. It's got the Olney shocks on it, which are super expensive. And yeah, if I had to choose between the two, I would, my age, I've driven a lot of sports cars, and I've had a few sports cars. I'm 45 now, and I just feel like, having something a little more comfortable on the road, a little more spacious, and something a little bit easier to drive. And yeah, I tried to take all the emotion out of this to make sure that I wasn't doing something hasty. Spoke with the wife, told her my reasonings. She agreed to, and I got to set a cap on how much more or how much I'm going to come out of pocket for this car. So I set the cap at $9,000, which is the price of the warranty, and we'll see what happens. So wish me luck. If I do get the new car tomorrow, I'll make a video, and we'll continue this journey of life together, man. And if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section. I try to respond to everybody. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for making it another day. I'm grateful that you're here, even though I don't know you. I wish nothing but the best for everyone. So thanks again, and you all stay safe out there, okay? Take care.